Wisdom Delve.
Life is not always easy. Many people every day face pain, injustice, and sufferings that tire their spirit. I see that hearts are broken, hopes are extinguished, and humans in the noise of the world have lost themselves. Some of you ask yourselves, does goodness still have worth? Does wisdom have benefit in a world so cruel? I say to you, yes, it does. Right in the heart of these difficulties is where a person can awaken, learn from suffering, and make wisdom their guide. These lessons that lie before you are not for calm days, but for stormy days, for moments when you do not know what to do and which path to take. If you listen to them, perhaps not the world, but yourselves you can change, and this is the beginning of everything. 1. Do not judge people, make yourself better. Most people like to play the role of the judge. Judging others temporarily takes us away from ourselves. It makes us feel better about ourselves without us truly changing. But from my view, Confucius, such behavior is not only wrong, but a waste of inner energy. In my philosophy, the noble person is one who holds a mirror, not a pointing finger. Today's psychology also says, a mind that focuses on others remains far from understanding and healing itself. We, by correcting ourselves, also slowly change the world around us. Suppose your colleague makes a mistake in a project. You start to complain and talk behind their back. But the reality is that you yourself have done similar mistakes several times and no one said anything. Is it not better, instead of blaming, to have empathy and to make yourself more precise? The next time you want to find fault with someone, first ask yourself, how much better am I in this matter? What work is there for me to do that I have not yet done? Make self-correction a habit. Not for perfection, but for honor. When you see a worthy person, endeavor to emulate them. When you see someone unworthy, examine yourself. 2. Do not look down on anyone, even if they are uneducated. From everyone, something can be learned. One of the deepest roots of injustice in society is this very top-down view, that we think because we have more education or position, our worth is also greater. I clearly learned that the dignity of a human is not in what they know, but in their behavior towards others. An uneducated person may have an experience that no book teaches. Today we know that looking down on others usually comes from a feeling of being ignored or insecurity within ourselves. To look down on others means to run away from facing our own shortcomings. Suppose you are standing in the bakery line and the person in front of you speaks with an accent that seems funny to you. The person next to you laughs, you also smile. But that person may have tried for years to be able to have the simplest conversation. To look down is not just injustice, it is also cruelty. In every meeting, look for a point that you can learn from that person, even if they are uneducated. Perhaps they know patience, kindness, or the wisdom of life better than you. Learn to measure people not by appearance and degrees, but by their humanity. The Master said, when walking in the company of two others, I am bound to be able to learn from them. 3. Before speaking, think. Words have power, use them correctly. Words seem like simple tools, but in their heart they hold a great force. They can build a heart or break a heart, reconcile or ignite war. Speaking without thought is like throwing an arrow in the dark. It may not hit the target, but it may leave a wound. Our words are a reflection of our subconscious. The words we speak without thinking are sometimes the result of wounds that have not yet healed. Suppose a friend asks you for help, but you are busy, and impatiently say, I don't have time for these things now. Afterwards you regret it, because you know you broke their heart with that tone. If only you had thought for a few more seconds, you could have said the same thing with kindness. Before speaking, wait a second. Ask, is this word true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If one of these is no, perhaps it is better not to say it yet. Silence is sometimes a sign of strength, not weakness. The cautious seldom err in their speech. 4. See the end of matters, not just their beginnings. Foresight is a sign of wisdom. Many people are fascinated by beginnings, the excitement of starting a new relationship, the thrill of launching a new business, or the eagerness to pursue a big goal. But what distinguishes a person is the ability to see the end of the road before setting foot on it. In my philosophy, not seeing the consequences means not seeing wisdom. Wisdom means thinking about tomorrow before you do something today. Forward thinking has an important impact on mental health and success. Those who can imagine the end have more thoughtful decisions and a more balanced life. Imagine you received a job offer with a higher income, but far from family and in a stressful environment. If you are only attracted to more money, you may after a while experience burnout and homesickness. But if you look a little deeper and see what quality this path creates for your life in the end, you might make a different choice. Before any decision, think a few steps ahead. Ask, if I continue this, what impact will it have on me, my family, and my future? Someone who only sees the moment falls from the same place again and again. A man who does not think and plan long ahead will find trouble right at his door. 5. If you want justice, start with yourself. Justice begins within you, not from without. We often complain about injustice in the world. Why do managers make unfair decisions? Why do others ignore our rights? But I say justice does not begin with others, it begins with you. True justice means measuring yourself by the same standard you measure others. That is, just as you expect honesty, respect, and fairness from others, you yourself adhere to them, even in private. Today's psychology of ethics also shows that the feeling of inner satisfaction comes more from giving what is right than from getting what is right. A person who is just within themselves has a deeper peace of mind because their conscience is clear. Let's think that you are on the subway and there is only one empty seat. You run and sit down while an elderly lady was also behind you. Then you complain to others that people are so rude. But did you yourself just behave justly? True justice means before you demand, see if you yourself are one who practices it. Ask yourself, am I willing to treat myself the same way I treat others? Is what I say also in my behavior? Start justice from everyday things, standing in line, and dividing time, in respecting others. The world needs just people, not claimants of justice. The virtue of the noble man is like the wind, the virtue of the petty man is like grass. When the wind passes over, the grass bends. 6. The easy way is not always the right way. Honor is sometimes gained at the cost of hardship. Many people are looking for a way that is faster, easier, and without trouble. But I say, the right way is not always easy. In life, if your only goal is ease, you may fall into traps that seem pleasant on the surface, but are empty inside. Virtue is just like climbing a mountain. It is hard, you sweat, but when you reach the top, a bright horizon opens before your eyes that you never saw on the smooth path.
Whoa.
For example, you have an exam and you are tempted to cheat because you haven't studied. That is the easy way. But the right way is to take responsibility. even if the result is a lower grade. It may be harder, but it makes you a responsible, determined, and honorable person, someone who will be proud of themselves tomorrow. Let us do this from now on. Every time two paths lie before you, one easy and immediate, one difficult and valuable, ask yourself, which path aligns with my character, not just my comfort? Choose the path of virtue, even if it is hard. Because the worthy person is made in the heart of difficulties, not in ease. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. 7. It is okay to make mistakes. It is wrong to repeat them. Turn your mistakes into lessons. My friend, if you are human, you will err. But if you are wise, you will learn something from that error. I have never blamed someone who made a mistake. The one who learned and corrected themselves is noble in my eyes. But the one who repeats the same mistake many times either has not understood or has not wanted to understand. A mistake is not a failure, it is an opportunity for growth. If you see it, if you face it with courage, you will rise higher from where you fell. Suppose you quarrel with one of your close ones, your brother, your spouse, or your friend, again and again because of hasty words. The first time you might say, I didn't mean to upset them. But if the second, third, or 10th time, you still speak without thinking and say, I don't know why it happened again, it means you have not learned from your experience. It means you have not taken the pain of others seriously. A mistake has meaning only once. The times after that are a choice. The best way is this: after every mistake, pause. Ask yourself, why did this happen? What part did I play in it? And what change should I make from now on? If necessary, take notes, seek advice from others, or even talk to the person you hurt and say, I am working on myself. A man who has committed a mistake and doesn't correct it is committing another mistake. 8. The wise person learns from the past and builds the future. History is a great teacher. If a person wants to have a wise and honorable life, they must know their past well. Our experiences, memories, and stories are like lamps that light the way ahead. I always say, the wise man sees the mistakes and successes of the past as a knowledgeable teacher who gives him lessons and builds his future based on them. If you are heedless of history, you are like someone walking in the dark who may stumble at any moment. It has happened to all of us to have failed several times at work or in studies. We may become discouraged by failures and decide to change our path altogether. But if we take some time and carefully examine where we went wrong, which of our habits need correction, and what skills we lack, we can learn from them and be more successful next time. In other words, failures are not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter that you write. So do not forget. Every time you face a problem or fail, take a step back and analyze it with a calm and logical perspective. Write down the important points, consult with others, and plan for the future. The wise person is one who considers the past a bridge to progress and not a prison for regret. Study the past if you would define the future. 9. Never give up. Persistence is the key to success. In life, everyone faces problems and obstacles. But the difference between successful people and others is that when they fall, they get up and try again. I have always said, even if the road is hard and winding, do not give up trying. Failure is only real when you decide not to continue. Imagine a student who has been weak in mathematics many times. They may be tempted to say I can't and give up everything. But if they try harder each time they fail, learn from their mistakes, and believe in themselves, they will eventually succeed. It is that continuous effort that determines the difference between failure and victory. To solve this problem, when you encounter an obstacle, instead of giving up, rest a little, gather energy again, and try different ways. Get help from others and remember that every small step brings you closer to your goal. Always have perseverance and patience with you. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. 10. See the beauties. Even in the heart of difficulties, there is beauty. Today's life is full of complexities and challenges, and hardships sometimes weigh so heavily on our hearts and minds that we forget to look around us and see the beauties. I say, the wise person is one who, even in the midst of problems, has the ability to see beauty. Beauty is not only in flowers or landscapes, but also in the kind behavior of a human, in simple moments, and in a deep understanding of life. When our eyes open to beauty, our hearts find peace and we find new strength to continue the path. Surely you have experienced having a hard day, things did not go well, you have financial or family problems, or perhaps it is even a rainy and gloomy day. On such days, you may feel that everything is dark and meaningless. But if you wait a moment and listen to the sound of a bird singing by your window, or see a small smile from a child, or even feel the breeze blowing on your face, those simple beauties remind you that life is still full of hope and goodness. This simple look at beauties can give you the strength and peace to endure hardships. My friend, dedicate a few minutes of your time each day to seeing and appreciating the small beauties. You might start by looking at nature, or appreciating the kindness of those around you, or remembering the things you have. This simple habit brightens your life and lightens your mind from the burden of problems. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Life is like a flowing river that every day with its new challenges and beauties builds and changes us. The wise person is one who, in the flow of this river, neither falls on the stones of the path nor stops moving, but with patience and understanding, finds their way and moves towards the light. Every step you take is an opportunity for growth, and every hardship is a lesson that leads to wisdom. See life as a flower whose every leaf and petal has a story of effort, hope, and beauty. So with an open heart and a clear mind, welcome each day and know that the path to happiness lies in a deep understanding of yourself and the world. Therefore, if you found these reflections to hold value for your own journey, I invite you to follow this path further, so that we may continue to learn and grow together. Share your thoughts and insights, for in the exchange of ideas, wisdom deepens.